The second race weekend of the 2013 FIA World Touring Car Championship. We head to our second continent in a fortnight. We're in Africa, Marrakesh, the Red City in the heart of Morocco, just north of the Atlas Mountains, between us and the Sahara Desert. Well, this snow-capped mountain range looks down on the heart of the hot city of Marrakesh. And there you can see the Atlas Mountains on a beautiful sunny day here in Morocco. Well, hello everybody, welcome to the first of two qualifying periods here for the second race weekend of the FIA World Touring Car Championship on the streets of Marrakesh. I'm Martin Haven, sitting alongside me, British Touring Car Champion Matt Neal. Matt, after torrential rain and thunderstorms yesterday, no running at all. A very green circuit when the cars went out today, and a large part of it has been resurfaced as well, so plenty to think about before qualifying.
That's right, Martin. There's a few drivers up and down the pit lane who've not been here before, so they're going to have to do a lot of learning very quickly. It's a similar challenge to round one at Monza in the way it's very long straights followed by tight and twisty chicanes with big curves in. But it's a very different challenge with the weather conditions. In Monza, we had a track temperature of just 6 degrees, and here we're looking at 36 degrees already. So it's going to be, you know, a different scenario for the engineers to try and work to and make the tyres last well, and the drivers to conserve the cars and tyres.
Well, unfortunately, just before qualifying gets ready to go underway, the stewards have notified us of slippery surface on the track at corners 4 and 6, which are the first, well, the sort of long left-handed corner at the first third of the lap after a previous session. Somebody's dropped some oil, so that may not help qualifying much. Nevertheless, we still go through into our qualifying period with the usual extended period for the street circuit. 30 minutes of the first period and then 15 in the second. But we saw Alex McDowell's teammate in the other bamboo Chevrolet, the other blue and white car, James Nash. Great onboard shot from Gabriele Tarquini right at the end of free practice, going down towards the final hairpin. Nash actually flicked the cover off the wing mirror. Didn't take the whole wing mirror off, but he was so close to the wall that he just scraped the tip of the wing mirror on it, and it... Oh, McDowell again. Now, that had all the hallmarks of a cold tyre lose, and that is his second wake-up call. Now, if he doesn't listen to those, the third one is going to see the car wrecked.
Yeah, it had the hallmarks of a cold tyre thing, but the difference is they've got tyre warmers here, so they're going out with Scorchio hot tyres onto a warm track.
We know that oil is down on the track at turn 4, that first chicane, and in turn 6, the long left-hander. I think he's found it on both of those patches.
Yeah, it was going out of turn 6, so that could ring true with that.
Now, of course, he's jumped off on his own. He hasn't waited for James Nash, who's on the back of this queue. James is sitting behind Chilton and Muller, trying to pick up a toe from them.
Yeah, Alex has obviously got whether he feels more comfortable running on his own, as we were saying, just about getting the view when James is playing a savvy game, dropping onto the back of the 2 RML cars.
Well, as they go across the line, Tom Chilton, second in the queue, gets the toe from the car with the predominantly red bonnet there, Ivan Muller. He goes quickest. James Nash in third. Muller in fourth, and Michel Nukia, who's in the white and black Nika Racing Chevrolet,
who's piled in the time.
Well, he is behind the 2 Hondas. We were talking about hatchbacks, which are not as aerodynamically efficient as a saloon, and the hatchback benefits actually from having a saloon tucked up behind it.
You can see the bonnet of Nukia's car oscillating up and down, and this is the buffeting you get when you're in the aerodynamic slipstream. You'll find your window starts, because we don't run glass windows on the windscreens on this, we run Perspex ones for safety reasons. But all the whole car will start shaking as you get a massive aerodynamic buffering.
Now that's, if you're in an airplane, that would be bad news because you're not getting clear airflow, so the wings aren't working, but that's exactly what you want to see. That's how you know he's in a good tow.
Is the larders.
Thompson and Kozlowski not quite sorting themselves out there.
He's playing the game on his phone, by the look.
So Baseng in 8th place at the moment. Nukia, Nash, Chilton and Muller. Chevy's 1, 2, 3, 4. Thompson 5th in the Lada. McDowell 6th in his Chevy. Tarquini, Baseng, Montero, Benani, the local hero, in 10th place. And Coronel and O'Young trying to work their magic. And you see how much Ivar Muller has dropped them and how the Honda is closing in behind. Again, watch Muller over the curves there, and watch the BMWs over the curves. And the Honda, blimey, O'Reilly. Who's that? Gabrielli. That is bouncing around at the back like nobody's business.
That does look as stiff as anything, and he's going to get held up now. That's the problem. Unless this is the end of the lap, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's also outbraked himself horrendously there as well. Now, one of the things that Andrea Adamo, the Honda designer, was saying about this car, as we watch...
Tarquini, P1, look at that.
Wow, blimey, right. That was a edge of the seat lap, wasn't it? One of the things that Andrea was... and Thiago has wrecked the front of his car, doing exactly what we hoped nobody would do. This is below the first chicane, I think. And look how far he's come. This is the 100-meter board for the second chicane.
It's not good because Montero is 11th at the moment, and you've got Huff there.
Red flag. He will take no further part in qualifying.
You've got Coronel and Michelitz. Here we go. We're going to see it.
Yeah, big slide. Hits the wall on the right with the right rear. Clatters off into the left.
I think he may even struggle to make... I know his car won't make the cut, but he won't even make...
It'll be a flatbed. He's not allowed to do any more laps. There's not a chance he'll get through, because there'll be another 15-minute session once they've recovered his car and the session goes underway before we get into the final part of qualifying. Clear-up operations continuing here in Marrakesh. We'll be back with the action, hopefully, in a few minutes.
Japan quality. Yokohama. Your tire.
I'm coming home, baby, now. I'm coming home now, right away. I'm coming home, baby, now.
We put more cars at your fingertips than any other site. So whether you're looking for something new or something a little older, when it's time to change your car, why go anywhere else? Auto Trader.
Coming home, baby, now.
Betway has over 500 casino games for your Mac and PC. £10 free when you join. And now play anywhere on your mobile and tablet with Betway.com.
At Direct Line, we like dealing with our customers direct. We also help them save money. In fact, over 60% of UK homeowners and motorists could save money by insuring with us. On average, it takes less than 5 minutes to get a quote and find out if you're one of them. Take the Direct Line.
British Superbikes 2013 sees two of its greatest champions go head-to-head. Let battle commence. It all starts tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. live on British Eurosport 2 HD.
So, Qualifying gets back underway. 14 minutes of Q1 still remain. The first rush goes out with Michał Kozłowski right on the back in his Lada, hopefully trying to find a quick lap. He's yet to set a time. The red flags flew on his first timed lap. There, Mehdi Banani, Tom Coronel with the yellow Daryl O'Young. Then the liquid molly cars of Franz Engsler, Charles Eng. The blue car behind them is Freddie Bart. So a stream of BMWs.
Now, Tarquini's shot out there, but he's lying top of the pile at the minute. I would have thought, because they obviously have tyre restrictions on the usage, they're only allowed 12 new slick tyres, dry weather slick tyres, for each weekend. And then they're allowed 8 carryover second-hand tyres from a previous meeting. So I'm surprised he's going out unless he wants to try something particular for Q2 or... the one problem for Tarquini now, he's lost his slipstream buddy for Q2.
Although they weren't necessarily working together, they certainly weren't when Thiago went off. Well, so on their first run, they did go together. The second run, Gabriele hitched up with somebody else, as he has now with Alex McDowell. And how long have we got? 6 minutes. There is time for a couple of these guys to get another run in. Seems to be quite a lot of BMW dragging down places where it shouldn't be dragging, but there is no time to fix that now.
Not too good for the aero, but save a bit of weight.
Yeah. Aero schmero here. Just got to get out and get some more laps in.
Danger men for Huffy could be Michelitz, Coronel.
And here's one, Stefano D'Aste on a personal best. 1.5 off is not going to put him in, and that's only at the second sector. But it will move him from 21st, where he currently is. So how close will he get? Oh, careful on this run. He's got Engsler behind him, who is in 15th. And D'Aste goes 2.5 away, so doesn't even move up a spot.
No. He's trying.
He's using lots of air. Not much grip in air, Matt, though. And again, you can see so much dust. Don't forget, this was a public road on Thursday. They didn't do any running on Friday, and so haven't blown any of that dust away. Plus, it rained, so lots more mud and dust has got washed onto the road.
Look at that. Freddie Bart just said the fastest sector of the whole session.
Oh, yeah, so he did.
Sector 3.
Straight through 10, I bet you. Oh, car 7 straight at turn 13. And that is, who's 7? Charles Eng. I bet you Freddie Bart, yes. Car 73, Freddie Bart. Track time disallowed, limits to turn 10, which means the final chicane on the back straight, he hasn't even attempted to make it, he's just shot straight through. So back down to 14th then, that lap disallowed.
Just 4 minutes to go now, so they're going to be... there's probably going to be a handful of them just making a last gasp, see if they can try and claw their way into the top 12.
Well, a quick lap here is 1 minute and 3/4. There's 3 minutes and 3/4 left, so you've got to get out of the pits and round to the start line. You could get 2 quick laps in if you're really, really on it.
Well, you know, considering the simplicity... He's
Blimey, France.
Considering the simplicity of the layout of this circuit, it's still the 4th longest circuit on the calendar we go to. So it's, you know, it's a long way to get round.
It is. And actually, you would think it's very easy. There's a hairpin, there's a long corner, and there's 4 chicanes. You'd think, OK, how hard can it be? The driver's saying it's very hard to learn, not because you don't know where you're going, but just because you've got no chance to overstep the mark. You've got to underplay it all the way and creep up to the absolute ragged edge.
And it's the reference points. You know, you're going down a narrow tunnel is the only way I could describe it.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, that can't be good for his tyre wear.
No. All his nerves, you've got to say. Every time he does that, he's going, ooh.
He'll be fine. It's his engineer's nerves watching it.
No, he'll be good. Come back, thank you.
It's yours, it's mine, it's yours.
Yeah. He's not on the radio much because his heart's in his mouth half the lap. It is a bit the chuckle buzz. To me, to you, to me, to you. I've got it. I haven't. And you know, and once it starts to let go, like Thiago, actually it's in the lap of the gods. It's more by luck than judgment a lot of time that you've got room to sort it out. Front steering arm being attached to James Thompson's car. Don't see him going out in this session with only 2 minutes 20, but of course then almost immediately we go straight into Q2, which he is in at the moment.
Jimmy's looking fairly safe now with just 2 minutes left on the clock. I just hope they can get that repaired in time for Q2 and it hasn't done too much damage or knocked everything else out of the way.
Darrell O'Young here in 12th is on the bubble. Only 2 cars in the top 12 are on track. Darrell O'Young and Rob Huff, who has just left the pits in case, I think, possibly.
Here comes Coronel as well. He's going to tow off Darrell.
Coronel's 17th, make that 10th, so O'Young is out. Now, how ironic is that? Coronel gets a tow off his teammate, who he then bumps out of Q2. But if he can now tow Darrell round on this lap, they could both bump.
He won't be able to do it. He can't get in front of him.
Well, he could on the back straight.
No, otherwise he's got a lift. O'Young's got a lift, hasn't he? Tell you what, Michelitz is struggling in that Civic.
Yeah, well,
for a reason.
He had brake problems in Monza, and he said, I've still got brake problems. In Monza, the pedal was too long, and there was no consistency. Here, he said, there's consistency. The pedal is still too long. And Matt, what don't you want here? You don't want to be worrying about where to brake. You want to know that when you go for the middle pedal, it's going to be at home.
It is. I mean, I'm just looking at the BMWs here, and it is. It's such a shame that the teams are just suffering from lack of development from BMW Motorsport now. They seem to have got focused on DTM and their other enterprises and sort of
DTM
taken their eye off S2000 category, which is such a shame because it was such a potent weapon.
Honestly, probably the last time that car was developed in terms of chassis development was when Andy Priaulx was still in the championship. Then they built the new engine, and basically since then have done almost nothing. I mean, the teams are very disappointed. Replay of Darrell O'Young. This is getting collected by Tom, his teammate.
That's not going to go down well at Rail.
And Tom's in the top 10, and Darrell was trying to get in and isn't going to get in, and Tom's not going to do a Q2 lap. Not with a car that looks like that at the front. What's going on with qualifying this year? Had a tweet from somebody on Sunday morning in Monza saying, I've just watched the replay of qualifying. I had to check there wasn't a race on Saturday. There was so much carnage, which actually is a fair comment. It's not been quite so mad here. There's a happy birthday to Tom Coronel for yesterday. Well, Tom either carrying too much speed in or Darrell less than he was expecting.
Will Tom be sent down the salt mines with Duda Carlo?
Yes. Moving on. Back to Royal Motorsport, 2 damaged cars from the same incident. That is never a good thing, is it? And Tom's car actually looks pretty sorry. Of course, it's not now going to go out in Q2, which will seal him in to presumably 12th place, because unless somebody else doesn't go out, he won't set a time. Mehdi Banani is cruising back in. Well, I'm not sure the stewards are going to particularly throw penalties around for that. That was just a very unfortunate misjudgment.
I do feel sorry for Darrell on that one.
Yeah. Well, he was chatting away about qualifying at lunchtime, and we talked to Tom just before the session started. I think I might wait till tomorrow morning to catch up with him. Yeah, we'll move on from that.
I don't know if Tom knew he was in or not he was in.
I completely outbraked my missing button. I was watching, okay, here we go.
That just shows you, because Tom is very experienced. He knows the track, he knows the car, and he just said it's hard to pick up.
Yeah, but the car's damaged.
The car's damaged.
Yeah, it's hard to pick up the reference points. You know, you're just trying to find that last. You know, you're trying to nick a meter at 150 miles an hour.
And this is what Alex McDowell was saying. He said, actually, I feel more comfortable not with the slipstream, but being able to see where I can go. Now, does that make Darrell? No, it doesn't make. I don't think that can make Darrell a top 12. He's 13th.
Oh,
no, so he's not in.
Of that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. All right, it's not at the pointy end, but yeah, there's a lot of work for both guys to do, I'm afraid. So Tarquini fastest in Q1, then Muller, McDowell. So that's quite entertaining. But Gabrielli again might have a little chance. And, well, Ben is down at Royal Motorsport. Sooner him than me. Let's hear from Darryl O'Young.
Yes, I'm in the Royal Motorsport garage. We're just going to grab a quick word with Darryl O'Young. Darryl, some words between you and Tom there. Kind words, I think, but a disappointing situation.
Yeah, you know, I towed Tom into Q2, and then the next lap we were going to be close, but I was trying to get a tow back, and we were about to switch up, and then he missed his braking point. He apologized. We brake at 150 there, he brakes at 100, so... I mean, you know, honest mistake from him, but at the end, both of our cars are out, and it's a bad situation, I think. You know, because I think the team, you know, we really worked hard to get to try to get both cars in the Q2, and to have this happen, not only is my car out, but Tom's not ready to continue, so yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Thanks, Darryl.
Thanks.
Well, I think pretty much assume that they're going to be 12th and 13th. Darryl is locked into 13th for both races. And Tom, it's unlikely that anybody will not go out in Q2, and that will leave him in 12th for both races as well. So getting ready for the second 15-minute period of qualifying, as some of the teams have got a lot of work to do before tomorrow's races here in Marrakesh.
Japan quality. Yokohama. Your tire.
The return of the Rocket. Last November, he quit for the entire season. But he's dramatically called off his sabbatical to defend his crown. He's the most charismatic star in snooker, and he wants a 5th world title. He is Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's back, and you don't want to miss it. The World Snooker Championship from April the 20th to May the 6th, live on British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2.
Motorsport's Fast and Furious Tin-Top action returns to Donington Park on the 20th and 21st of April with the hugely popular Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Round 2 of this hotly anticipated season sees 4 previous champions going head-to-head. Advance tickets are on sale now and start from only £10 for the Saturday and £25 for race day Sunday. Visit donington-park.co.uk for more details or phone the ticket hotline on 0844 873 7343.
Master Chef! Grand designs! Deadliest catch! Master Chef! Grand designs! Isn't it annoying when your 3 favourite programmes are on at the same time? My money's on that guy. Fortunately, with TiVo from Virgin Media, you can record any 3 programmes at once while watching a 4th you recorded earlier. So deciding on what to watch need never be a problem again. Also, it's exclusive to Virgin Media, so you 3 can pack it in! Richard, sort it out. The collections from Virgin Media, including TiVo and superfast fibre optic broadband. Check out our latest offers online.
Rossi back on a Yamaha. A team of Brits. A hot new rookie. Get ready for the most exciting season MotoGP has seen in years. MotoGP 2013. Races start tomorrow, 4:45 p.m. on British Eurosport 2 HD.
Q2 is underway then here in Morocco. On board with Gabriele Tarquini, 2 Bamboo Engineering Chevys in front. And Matt Neal, this gives you an idea of just what visibility you don't have when you're sitting in a queue of cars, looking for an inch perfect braking marker here on a street circuit. There is no way you can miss your braking point and get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, Marrakesh, we just saw from the camera angle there, it is very tight round here, very unforgiving. You know, you're jostling for position on your qualifying lap. You need a tow, but then they'll problem with that is if the guy in front of you or the guy in front of him has a problem, has a little mishap, then it costs you, because then you struggle to get past them.
Well, there's James Thompson in the Lada, waiting to go out for his run in Q2. Hit the wall on the exit of the final hairpin and broke something in the suspension right in front corner. That is being fixed. Meanwhile, Tom Chilton and Ivan Muller lead the charge. Then Michel Nukia, then the two Bamboo Engineering Chevys. You tell them apart if you can. My timing screen says McDowell in front of Nash. I'll believe that. Thiago Monteiro crashed his car. He won't go in Q2, didn't make it on time. And at the moment, 10 cars are out there, so Tomo, and I don't know how they'd work that out, whether Thompson or...
Yeah, at the moment, we've only got
Coronel.
10 cars through to Q2. It should be 12, with 10 going through, but as Coronel and Tomo aren't starting at the moment...
Well, Coronel won't. I'm pretty sure that's guaranteed. On time, Thompson was in front, so should be 11th to Coronel's 12th. I would have thought that would be the obvious way. But, of course, if Tomo can get out and just get 10th place, then he'll be in the top 10. And, of course, the top 10 are reversed for the race 2 grid. So you've got an opportunity. I mean, imagine Tomo tomorrow starting race 2 from pole in the Lada.
Yeah, they've got 10 minutes. We've got 12 minutes on the clock, just over. They've got 10 minutes to get him out, and he just needs one flying lap in that car with fresh tyres. Yeah. And no mistakes.
Chilton is off on his first flying lap. Muller.
I thought he was in the wall then.
Muller 4/10 quicker on the first sector alone than Chilton, who he's following.
Well, they've certainly got the hammer down.
James Nash, quickest of all in the first sector in his Bamboo Engineering Chevy, which is 5th in this queue. And there is the RML group again. Big lock-up from Chilton into the second chicane. Nukia, McDowell, Nash and Tarquini is behind them.
No, it's Muller who's getting a toe off Chilton this time,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah. Tom is leading out, which is why Ivan is quicker than him. But James Nash was quickest of all. That's the car
you see that exit
right in
curve
front of
on
us.
the right there with a big sausage. That's the one that's been killing all the suspension.
That is the suspension killer.
Eager, you'll see it on the right, just out of here.
Ooh, goodness! That's McDowell into the back of Nukia in that chicane. Chilton still towing Muller. Look at Ivan's hands on the wheel mat. This is a bouncy, choppy track. Resurface from here all the way round until you get onto the back stretch. And that's up to the grip levels. You can see it's much blacker, much newer, and much smoother tarmac, quite clearly.
Yeah, it's been the part that resurfaced is a big favourite for the drivers. They've got a definite thumbs up from the drivers on that one.
McDowell has pulled out of the slipstream, allows James Nash to go through. Gabrielli.
44.3 from Tarquini.
Yay. Well, look, he's at the back of his queue. He's getting a toe off every man and their dog at the moment. This is like small capacity motorcycle racing. Back of a long queue, you get the biggest toe.
Nash is up.
Yep. Fastest of all is the red indicator, or purple on our timing screens. You're listening.
Go on then, James.
Alessandro.
With the yellow strip right behind it.
Muller now on pole in the second sector. Nash still on a personal best, but not still on an outright pole lap. Tarquini, though, has got pole at the moment for race 1. Of course, top 10 reverse for race 2. Still no sign of Thompson. René Munich has just left the pits in the All-Inca. Well, there he is. Well, how has he not set a time? In fact, he was in this queue before because he was in front of Oriola. So how has he not set a time? Don't know. Just says 0 laps, but patently he is out there. I think the boys from MST, he's just gone into the pits. Boys from MST are going to have to do him manually, and will be doing him manually with a pencil and a bit of paper like in the old days.
Right, and Muller's not done it.
Tarquini still fastest as he goes in the pits. Nash still second, Muller third, Nukia fourth, Chilton fifth, Huff sixth, who's already in the pits going for his second set of tyres. McDowell is in the pits, Basseng is in the pits, Orio. See, now it says Basseng's not. Am I getting my Huffs and my Bassengs muddled up? I must be then. What an idiot. That'll be Mark Basseng in the background. Now, we've got an HD monitor as well this weekend, Matt, so I can't complain about the fact that it looks like I'm not wearing my glasses. Ivan Buller on the oil there, running offline as he's on a slowing down lap.
Yeah, he could be coming in. I mean, they saved a set of tyres in Q1, so he could be coming in for another stab in the second session.
But I don't forget, they carry over 8 tyres from Monza as well. What happened on Sunday in Monza? They used wets.
Yeah, very true.
So they'll have some very little used tyres from Monza. Some of them will only have done Q2.
Yeah.
So you'll have a set of fronts that have only got 3 laps on them, 4 laps on them maybe, 5 laps on them tops. So you've got a little bit more in the bank in terms of rubber than you might otherwise expect. No running yesterday, which was expected to have happened, so they'll be fresher than they probably ought to be anyway. So there's all sorts of Honda bonuses going. All these guys are coming in, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a blinding lap from Tarquini, considering they've been, you know, you go to the drivers, the Honda drivers, and you say, what do you need more of? And they're going, oh, it's engine, it's engine. I mean, this is a circuit with 5 chicanes, 1 hairpin, and a fast left.
Yeah.
And some big, long straights. So your engine can't be, you know, it's got to be half decent to do that sort of time around here.
Yeah, but you show me a racing driver who's happy with his engine power, and I'll show a racing driver who doesn't exist. Tarquini, though, is fastest at the moment. Well, James Thompson has climbed out of the larder, and that suggests to me that the guys have said we can't get it fixed for Q2, and that's another disappointment in qualifying. No question Thompson has the power to start, and the car under him to start well on the grid, but he just needs a bit of a break in terms of qualifying. That's a real heartbreak. He'll be 11th, which means he won't get any benefit from the top 10 reverse grid. Well, this time, at least, it wasn't his teammate, Matt. Probably doesn't make it any more comfortable.
Desperately disappointing for the Lada Sport team, guys. I was really hoping Jimmy was going to throw it up there in the top 6 and upset some of the established hierarchy.
Well, I'm afraid even so, he's not going to be able to put a good spin on that, because he'll just be really, really disappointed with himself. And actually, almost, it's worse that it was his mistake rather than when it's somebody else's, there's nothing you could have done. He'll be going, "Argh!" And I'm sure when he hit the wall, he was, even as he was going in, he knew he was in real trouble.
It's as always the case, Martin. It was a daft one. You know, it was just a silly...
They're the worst. There's his teammate, Mikhail. Well, he's going to start right towards the back of the grid, but he is in the World Championship. Doesn't look like he's old enough to hold a road licence, but he's
going to go back to school on Monday morning.
What I did in my holidays, behind Mikhail Kozlovsky, age 14 3/4. Absolutely.
Either that or we're getting older.
Well, listen, yeah, of that there is no question. You know, now when racing drivers' dads are my age, never mind racing drivers are my age, I have to understand that I'm no longer quite as young as I might once have been.
Now this could be a tactic for Oriola. Is he?
Yeah, no,
he's 9th. Is he just going to settle for the front row of the grid in the second
bailed,
race?
Yeah, because there's only top 10. So the worst that's going to happen is he's going to be 9th on race 1 and row 1 for race 2. And is that why René Munich hasn't gone out? Do you think?
Maybe, yeah. Because in qualifying, you only get points for the first 5 positions in qualifying. So 6th or below, and it's doubtful Oriola is going to really break this Chevrolet or Honda stranglehold at the front. So,
well, Pepe only did 2 laps. He went out and came in at the end of his flyer. So his 1:46.3 was done as he was coming into the pits.
And when he did that, he was probably just they were a little bit nervous whether Thompson would get out in the Lada, so that's a bit of a banker.
I wonder whether he had an issue. I think he was out longer than that.
I think Tarquini was waiting there for the Chevys to go.
Absolutely, no question. Well, Mark Basseng, I don't know whether they've got an issue with that car or not, or whether they have just said, do you know what? If Thompson's out of the car, save the tyres. You're going to be on the front row for race 2.
Definitely.
Now, why is René Munich shown as being 10th? Now, this is what's confusing me. René Munich was never in Q2, but he's showing on our timing screen. I'm really struggling now with this.
Yeah, he was down at about 20th.
Well, no, he was on page 2. He was 23rd or 22nd, so he shouldn't be in it. So Thompson, Coronel, and Magi? Who's Magi?
Good question.
Monche. Okay, so Fernando Monche is not going to... Oh, look, good shot of James Nash's footbox. Now, it's only the outlap, but notice how at the bottom of your shot there, that's the clutch, which he will basically not use once he's left the pit lane. And like a go-kart racer, which is where a lot of these guys have started, it's a two-pedal operation. This is left foot braking. He's got his left foot over the brake, and his right foot will control the throttle.
Yeah, he's a little bit, he's warming the brakes up, just working the tyres in, but he's also keeping the revs up, keeping the turbo spinning, because when those first three cars go, they'll try and break the toe to the car behind them, and James doesn't want to get caught out, so...
Now, the other thing he's doing is trying to wait for Alex McDowell to catch up with him. There's James with the yellow highlights. McDowell is 2 cars back. There's his dad, Martin. McDowell is at the back with the red highlights on his windscreen, and he'll be waiting to try and get Alex to catch up to him because Alex towed him on their first run. Fernando Monche, again, well, he's in the car still. It looks like they might be making preparations to go out, but he hasn't moved so far.
There's only 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, he's probably not going to go, is he? Okay,
lap.
So we've got Muller in front of Chilton this time, and Tarquini behind the both of them.
Looks like McDowell's dropped back out the queue to give himself some space, which is what he was doing in FP2,
yes,
to be fair.
And which he did in Q1 as well. He set his fast time on his own.
Yeah, it worked well for him, that did, so maybe it's that tactic.
Okay, Fernando Monche's got 1:43. He hasn't even left the pit lane. What's the point of sending him out? It's a 1:45 lap, absolutely flat chat. He's not going to get round to the checkered flag. All he can possibly do now is get in the way. What on earth was the point of that?
That's just someone not keeping an eye on the stopwatch, I guess.
He is just going to get in the way of the championship leader.
Now, this is Muller actually towing Chilton when I would have thought...
Well, Tom towed him first time round. The fact that Ivan didn't get the lap he wanted does not matter. And Monche is in the way.
Yeah, even if he doesn't actually get in the way, it's a distraction.
He is in the way already. He's not going fast. He's on an outlap in a slower car. He's in the way.
Come on.
Gabrielli's backed out of this because he could see what was going to happen. His engineers got on the radio to him and say, forget it, don't bother following them, Monche's in the way. Both Chevys had gone by him, but he was holding them up.
Well, Muller's done his fastest first sector, and then we need to see what the second sector is.
Chilton's fastest of all. Muller's still towing Tom down to the first chicane.
Come on, boys. Well, got a good drive out of there.
Yes, he really did.
Chilton's well up at the moment. Come on, Tom.
Half a second up on Tarquini. And Tarquini has given this up as a bad plot. He's not even fussed. Not going for a lap. Nukia gets a little toe down the straight from Monche, who's going to get in the way in the braking area for the hairpin at the end of the lap, unless he goes straight back into the pits. Mind you, this is Monche's out lap. He's not on a qualifier. Somebody in that team needs taking outside and some salient facts explained to them. If I can see that that was a stupid thing to do, I don't understand why they are doing it.
Lost it in the last sector. Fastest first sector, fastest second, and he lost in the last one. How did he do that?
I don't know. Nash is second, Muller is third, Nukia is fourth, Chilton only fifth ahead of McDowell.
Oh.
So Tarquini is on pole. Stuart McCrudden there. And a first pole for Honda in the World Touring Car Championship on their first ever street circuit race.
That will be bad.
Oh, after Macau, of course, because they raced last year.
Thank you.
Then you have to come every race.
So Gabrielli backed out of that. He's already in the pit lane as the pole sitter because they saw Monche getting in the way of the Chevys and said, mate, forget it.
Well, it'll make the pain of Montero's damage a little easier to bear.
Not for Thiago.
Hey. Well...
not for Thiago. His teammates just stuck it on pole. He stuck it in the wall.
Not for Thiago, but for the team.
Yes.
It would have been a lot nicer to see both of them up there mix it in with the Chevys and co. But, you know, again, Tarquini's got to fly solo tomorrow. He's going to be on his own with a swarm of Chevys around him, which he's got to fend off. But he's definitely the man for the job.
Well, that was a sort of an interesting anticlimactic end to qualifying, wasn't it? Tarquini was already on pole and didn't improve. Chilton was well up and couldn't manage to finish the lap. And I think, actually, when we saw Muller get that really good drive out of the last chicane and Chilton just dropped away, I think Tom got in too hot into that final chicane and just couldn't carry the speed through on the exit.
That was Chilton's for the taking. Yeah, and he'd done all the hard work in the first 2 sectors.
Yeah. But then maybe there wasn't enough tyre left under him or whatever. But remember, he talked about it after free practice. He got in too hot into that last chicane and thought he was in the wall. And it all just got away from him.
Maybe he just tried that little bit too hard into the... I didn't see it's in the last chicane or the last corner.
Well, we're looking back from Ivan Muller, who was driving away from Tom, which was not the intention. But for Gabrielli, he will start on pole for race 1 tomorrow from James Nash, the top independent. Ivan Muller, the points leader, 3rd. Michel Nukier, another independent, will be 4th on the grid. Tom Chilton, 5th. Alex McDowell in 6th position. So 5 Chevys in the top 6, but Honda with their first pole, the factory team. Then Rob Huff and Mark Basseng, the all-in-cool teammates, will be 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th, Pepe Oriola and Fernando Monche. And then behind them will be James Thompson and Tom Coronel in 11th and 12th, after neither of them actually got a run in Q2.